everyone, Clacka the Geek here, and welcome to episode 38 of the Clacka Chronicles, and it's that time again, where we review the latest series of Doctor Who, in this case, Series 13. So I hope you all had a good Halloween. I did until I started feeling a bit naff again, but whatever, we'll get through it, don't worry. And so we're reviewing episode 1, The Halloween Apocalypse, which was broadcast yesterday on Halloween. And I should make this clear, the Series 13 reviews for the most part will, with what's going on at the minute, I think, with me at least, will probably be on Mondays instead of Sunday nights. I just don't think I'll have the time to watch the episode and review it in that Sunday evening. I don't think I'll have the time currently, but I'll definitely get them on Mondays, and if I can, Sundays, but only if I can. Anyway, with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's give my first thoughts reaction to the Halloween Apocalypse. So I guess a good starting point with this is talking about our new companion, Dan Lewis, played by John Bishop. He's got my name, Dan. And he was a real delight to see on screen. Like, John Bishop, he's hilarious, and he's just got that very affable, sort of jovial nature. He's just a very like warm, funny presence around the TARDIS. And I imagine we'll get more to his character as we go on, but it was funny, and the whole thing of him being like, poor. I remember people complaining that, he's just, he's another white man in the TARDIS, but isn't he kind of a diversity hire because he's representing working class Liverpudlians, because we see that he doesn't have a lot, he doesn't have a lot at his house, so maybe that's something, I don't know, but I really like Dan, and I think he'll definitely grow, but yeah, I really enjoyed him. And his reactions to some of the aliens, and Dan was great. And let's also talk about the Doctor and Yaz, who are well established at this point. And yeah, I liked them. I liked, they just have a good dynamic. And I liked Jodie in it. I liked Man McGill in it. I thought some of the dialogue could be a little bit cringy at times, but I'm kind of used to that at this point. I think that's one of Chibnall's weak points, his dialogue. As I'm getting older, I'm kind of noticing the crummy dialogue a bit more, but they were good. They were good, I thought. But aside from talking about the TARDIS team quickly, I don't know where to go from here, because obviously this is the episode 1 of one long story. It's setting everything up, and there was lots that was set up, and I mean a lot. There was, we had the Sontarans, the Weeping Angels, some of the characters that Dan knows, like Claire, from the Liverpool stuff. You have the 1820 stuff, like the historical stuff, which I think will be in the future episodes. You had that dog fella, Carvanista. You had the Swarm and his sister, the crystal-looking fellas. You had mentions of the Division. You had the actual Flux itself. You had Jacob Anderson's character, Vinda, and there is a lot in this episode, and some of it did kind of get lost, but obviously I imagine if it's paid off well, this episode could be better, and yeah, it will. I think we're gonna have to kind of get used to this kind of more serialized storytelling, because it's so different from what we're used to with modern Who, and I think we'll just have to get used to it, really. But yeah, saying that though, I enjoyed what we had in the episode. I enjoyed the content of the episode. So what could we do? So there was Carvanista, who was the dog-looking alien fella, who at first I don't think you could take seriously, but turns out wasn't a proper villain. And I think if they tried to make him like the big bad, he was there just because his species were protecting the humans from the Flux. If they were trying to make him like the big bad, which at first it seemed like it was, it just wouldn't have worked. You couldn't take him seriously, but he wasn't meant to be taken seriously. He wasn't the main villain, which was good. The main kind of big villain, I guess, was the Swarm, the crystal fella, who was pretty brutal, some of the stuff, and it was quite dark, quite menacing, and really effective. Then you had some old monsters. You had the Weeping Angels returning properly in Doctor Who for the first time since... God, the last time they appeared properly in Doctor Who was in Time of the Doctor, Matt Smith's final story. God. But they were brilliant. They were really well really well used. And I love the fact that you have this character Claire who, first time you see him, she's running up to doctors, she knows them, she's clearly been sent back in time by the angels, she knows what it is now, and she's trying to, that's a really good bit of timey-wimey storytelling, and if it's paid off well, it'll make it a hell of a lot better. I think that's the thing with this episode. If it's paid off well, it'll make the episode better. If not, might make it worse. And we also had the Sontarans in setup at the end, who are going to be in the next episode, War of the Sontarans. I'm so looking forward to next week. But the Sontarans, they were great, and they weren't in it much. It was just them setting up for the next episode. But I loved seeing them again. They did a little reference to the Time Warrior with the tongue waggling. I loved them. I love their new design, and I can't wait to see them more in action. I was just having a massive grin on my face when I saw them. However, there were things that were set up that didn't really stick, like Jacob Anderson's Vinda character. I don't know, it just kind of washed over me, because there was so much going on, not everything is going to stick, and that was something that did. It just kind of, I didn't feel a lot to it. I think the episode looked fantastic, the direction, the cinematography, the effects of all the different landscapes and spaceships and all that stuff. And the bit that really stuck out to me was the bit when it zoomed in on Jodie's eye, and then it turned into the actual Flux, destroying all the planets, and then it zoomed back into Jodie's eye. That was a fantastic shot. I love that. And the music as well really stood out to me. There were some really nice motifs in there that... Look, I feel the music for this era, Sega Nakano's score can sometimes just be quite... you just forget it, but here there were some really nice motifs, like violin motifs. It stood out to me in this episode. Overall, this episode will depend on how well it's paid off, because it is mostly set up. But overall, I found it was very cheesy, but very fun, very entertaining. I like some of the new characters, especially Dan. I'm really enjoying him, and I'm really interested to see where it all goes. So I will give it a 7 out of 10 for the time being, but this is always subject to change, isn't it? So yeah, that's my review of it. So hope you enjoyed it. What did you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you not? Are you interested in seeing what's coming in the future? All that, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. Click the bell so you don't miss a thing. And it's Clacka the Geek signing out. Goodbye, everyone.